District School Board of Niagara is investigating after an offensive worksheet stereotyping Indigenous people was distributed at a kindergarten class at one of their schools.
An Indigenous mother of one of the students is very upset and doesn't want this to happen again. Manisa Danabalan joins us live with more. Manisa.
Phil, the worksheet was sent home on Monday, and the mother of the student complained that night. Both the board and the school have apologized for it and are taking immediate action. Not only does the worksheet say, in quote, 2 little Indians are eating ice cream, end quote, but it also has 2 kids dressed in stereotypical Indigenous clothing.
That term was really used at a very racist and segregation, when we were segregated more. And you know, I can tell you that my grandfather was told to sit on the Indian train, you know, back in the 50s and 60s. When people think of First Nations and Native Americans, right away they think of how we dress in regalia or ceremonial dress. We don't walk around like that every day.
4-year-old Ekkian Christmas didn't realize what this worksheet said, but his mother, Tracee Smith, who's from the Oji-Cree First Nation, was angry and disappointed.
We've all had to fight this kind of fight by ourselves in school, whether it's with teachers or schools. We just didn't want our son and our kids to have to do that themselves. I think there's enough education out there now that they shouldn't have to fight that fight.
She reported it to St. David's Public School and the board right away. The principal reached out to parents apologizing about the offensive worksheet, and the school board launched an investigation. But they say the worksheet isn't part of their curriculum and they're not sure where the teacher got it from.
It appears to be something that is quite old. It did not come from a website as far as we can tell. We've done an image search to see if it has come up. We don't know where it came from, but we will make sure it's never distributed again.
Kim Sweeney says the teachers have the authority to bring learning materials from outside the curriculum into the classroom, but this isn't vetted by the board all the time. The board wouldn't say whether the teacher who is still teaching the class is facing any disciplinary action.
Immediately, the principal did an audit of the learning resources being used within that classroom, and then that was extended to the entire team of that grade to ensure that those materials weren't being cross-shared, and they weren't, so that is good. They will be having staff-wide training on equity, diversity.
The Indigenous education lead for the board says it shows that there's more work that needs to be done.
The situation's disappointing. The Indigenous education team is doing some fabulous work with many educators in the board, and it's a process, and it makes us aware that there's a lot of work to do, and we need to go deeper with the work we're doing.
Smith says the board was very professional about the way they dealt with the situation, and she's happy with the way they dealt with it, but she's hoping this doesn't ever happen again. And the board says there are resources available on their website for any students who may have been affected.